Pigo. The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing. I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. The lieutenant furrows hatred, disgust. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon whore. Someone's got to keep an eye on.
Ozon is an archipelago, 2 days travel.
Isn't it part of your job to know all the illustrious persons? Something more.
That's rich coming from a young girl dressed up like a granny.
Oh, but that's the way it should be. Can't you tell? I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure.
She means the opposite.
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. No, that's all. I have a weakness for animals. What did you think I was using? Aquarels? This shit is pumped out of government vehicles. You ain't seen nothing yet, piggy boo. What for? Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about? Let me stop you right there, piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. No brush? Fuck yeah. Not gonna hold my breath, piggy. You look like...
You don't have the skills to execute something like... She squints her eyes.
On fire. I say, sod off. You don't have the technical skills to do that, didn't we all? I like your idea. Then get your brush.
Oops. You're a police officer and a grown-up. Why are you trying to impress her?
Watch your back.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just, what are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician. Yeah, a cool, trash superstar. With a sudden flash, the world freezes.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Does anyone in a city like this? Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will... Shoot, piggy. It's what you do, isn't it? Ooh.
How come you're letting this baby rat run circles around you? End this now.
Have you got any kids? But fine, take the brush.
You know what you should be able to find in your government-issued vehicle? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil. That beautiful wall deserves nothing less.
会儿吧，手游很快就大更新，要加个新英雄，还不等新英雄出来才行。你现在有几个英雄可以用啊？你一开始还没有。
但是有这个宣传已经有这个新英雄了，就开才改。
对，还有新地图，手机版新地图，还没上线。
这样的。
You missed a good show before.
He fucked the tree up!
You need to act decisively. It's Kuno. Use Kuno words.
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaught. So? Fuck, okay.
Kuno sent your fat ass running.
Look, Pig, Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. You got fucked. You got fucked, Pig. Fucked bad. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want.
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno doesn't.
英雄可以买。
手游版啊？那女的还是哪个？
对呀，就那个女的。
哦。
我记得全是显示英果然没有中文。
换日语不得了。
Old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all.
要花钱吗？你自己打上去更经验值买。
The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Controlled. Somewhere, not far from here, the lieutenant is preparing her file. Claudia Amandu, he writes. You realize the detective should be here.
感觉什么好？
说界面设置啊，感觉比之前刚玩的时候好很多。
更新过了。
The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Somewhere.
Who is it?
Tired. Somewhere.
机闭着。人家猜猜也不是很奇怪。
我这个名字不是我设置的哟，是乱码。
你之前叫什么名字？
我之前没有设置名字好像。
那就乱码了。
对啊，7。哎，对，我们是
你跟电脑打总能拿冠军。
啊好，这倒也是。是这个地图好怀念哦，最熟悉的地图。
Still here, stuck in the.
确实改了不少。
Welcome to Rivage.
This man looks like trouble. You might not want to get into this right now.
Oh, I'm just a simple camioneur, a father of 3, and a Rivachol patriot. Just the truth. I'm a truth teller, above all else. Oh man, that's great. God damn. Thanks.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
It's about not the most popular topic nowadays.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books, huh? People who've studied...
Race is a simplistic means of social classification based on easily observed attributes, hunches, and pseudoscience.
怎么不能连射呀？什么这个？
Oh?
Good. If we, the evening people, could... Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but... the strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. Apples?
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Yeah, apples? I take it you have... Oh, not much anymore. Apples?
Apples is
Look, as detective. We're on the same side here, yeah?
Koiko may be another derogative. For a person from Grad, you think. The man bites his lip and drops the near-finished cigarette lingering between his fingers.
Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a cart. Sure fucking is. We have a guild. Goddamn right. They've been trusting street thugs.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
No. You need tear to use the tear machine.
A small cabinet on the wall. Their logo is the...
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutical.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company.
I don't know. I don't really know what hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. Uh-huh.
You see several packaged raincoats fill The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. The girl delves into the magazine, hair covering her face, down onto one knee, pretending to do up a shoelace. Take a loose package from the bottom, slip it in the old sleeve. A colourful display of there, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Sure. If you want, but I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Huh? Speed.
What's the point if they don't even sell the good?
No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law says. The pale age vodka is special, you know.
Don't worry your pretty little head about it. Let's concentrate on what...
Sure. So...
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They've been recent. The driver has adorned the side wall. The back end of the cabin has a small a book with ragged edges catches your notice.
Right to work! Right to...
So,
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too.
it's but a rest area on the path right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Polar Weasel? Oh, I know what you mean. I'm pretty sure what you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. None of this mess with him. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to...
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're...
Los Ardis? They're they're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. We're negotiating our share. Aye. This stuff, they already covered. Never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. All of it. However,
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people.
no. I don't think I'm a communist. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. Just the way the world works, Boyadero. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. Okay, he's reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Sure, I've had the necessary...
The look in his brown eyes, it all comes together now. The way he's that of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, the man sits on the railing, his hands...
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition. But I ain't the murdering type. But that's just me.
He's not lying. He means a more violent
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search.
This must be it. The basement door, you knock silently. The leather upholstery, in fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No, you try to be as silent. Finally, the door. There's nothing else to do than to leave and tell as you hold the open door. This is the flag of Revachol. This isn't just one sun, but there are. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got. The flag accepts your honorable. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a little ring. Though cheerful, there's something disdainful in it. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity. But underneath, of course, you slippery bastard. Yes, your broken mug friend, the owner of this collection. An interesting little. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often. Who knows? Could be. You could ask Evra. It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. Evening falls. The vows are blurred. Lower intestine? Fascism, Brota. Many things, but it's mostly about, yes, women. Women. Men of war. That's what fascism boils down to. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota. There's a slow. It is one of the.
Trying to sneak up on me?
A striking woman leans against the cabin top.
Good afternoon, officer. I'm Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You must be from the RC Beaton, my maiden name. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here.
我帮你去升一下级啊，更新一下。
Like steel.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly. Why, yes I am. Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou. I haven't seen anyone else drive a...
She's referring to Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage.
In any case...
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around. Before you do, it will be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info on this boat of hers.
Oh my. The E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class? Think nothing of it, officer. What's a little class? The boat? No. It is called... It's a pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel, officer. I assure...
The crowns of her teeth are qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming.
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officer. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one. The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work Technically speaking, you don't. Surely you're aware that under the Wayfarer Act,
The Wayfarer Act is one of the few pieces of legislation governing human interaction in the Revachol Zone of Control. It's one of the foundational laws in Revachol, designed to limit the authority of local institutions. Part of it prohibits the art. It's a law that keeps Revachol what it is, in limbo.
About the boat? Good. What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines' core competency, and that is the terminal.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo Son Baptiste, LUM.
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you 20 billion is a large number. But the conglomerate employs 72. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels, you mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? We built this district. All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour. A company getaway. For a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the coalition. Unfortunately.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In fact, they're not. That's the problem. The union stopped. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Let's say I was not making the kind... I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over. The union won significant concessions, including overtime pay.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
There are leaflets everywhere, and every worker.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines Group makes a decision, just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals.
An opening gambit, surely.
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that... And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Mr. Clare told him to... fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union. The Scabs, if they were organized by...
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you.
Everard Clare is a man of the...
She's being sarcastic. Don't take her performance literally.
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. He is the most corrupt individual I... Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. With a funny little switch. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal, organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers. I'm glad you asked. There was a... Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around... Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your name and badge. I just can't go around telling confidential... What happened to it, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear.
She must have been...
However, this isn't about my feelings.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually benefit. She's a negotiator.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify...
You're in, but expect her to...
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for...
They're profiting from this
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Or, you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause. That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the Force Day to the Bats Day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with. It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredient meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to... Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual... Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the law.
How convenient that they're stranded.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just... I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you. How do you think they're financing this strike? It's true they drove a number of the local businesses to bankrupt. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely. Then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find... No. We asked East... This is a limited... Thousands of liters of roaring... We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently they're... Well... Here's your chance. Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are... It may come to nothing, or it... In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare? Of course. He could have kept it with corruption, of course. I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a verm myself. How could I stop you?
Intellectually speaking, tell her she'll like you for it.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making? The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up they... Why, if I may ask? Why make them more drunk? Aren't they corked enough already? Very curious. What else? Oh. So very, very helpful. And how is that going? Do you have any leads on that gun? Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Of course, Detective. Until then, is there anything I... Of course, Detective.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friso. To your disappointment, there aren't after rifling. The magazine is divided into several sections. International, Comrade, as you know, but like the structures of capitalist, I only 4 issues in. So please, if you flip back to the front of the magazine, the text